Why?
Ask Dora.
You know, those Doras I know are in trouble because people are going to them and asking them, "What have you done to Uncle Why?" That he's asking why, Dora, why? So, to all of you, it has nothing to do with any Dora you know.
I'm sure they themselves are curious as to what they have done.
Oh, they are curious as to why the why in Dora, why. So, the early bird tickets are out there. Please exercise your right to buy it at 60 before you have to pay 80. And note that normally we would have done 2 weekends back to back, but this one, 6th and 7th weekend, and then we jump to the Easter weekend.
Okay.
So
that's the 20th.
The 20th. So Easter Saturday, Easter Sunday, Easter Monday.
So it's going to be a 3-day weekend for that one. Okay, so 6th and 7th, and then 3 days in 2 weeks.
Yes.
20th, 21st, and 22nd.
So nice. Note that. But the early bird ticket is available only for the 6th and 7th time, and we hope to see you there.
All right.
Anyway, Dan, your team is doing quite well. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We are never walking alone. It's very scriptural. I'll tell you how.
Well, dear nephew, last Friday, March 8th, was International Women's Day. I was honored to be the guest of Nestle Ghana for the celebration of the day. The UN theme for the day was Think Equal, Build Smart, Innovate for Change. Nestle Ghana took this further with the theme From Aspiration to Action and challenged all its staff to think of actions they can take to advance not just equality but equity between the sexes in the workplace. Nestle is one of the few multinational companies that take the issue of gender equality and equity seriously. At the top management level in Ghana, there are equal numbers of men and women, with a woman as CEO. The International Women's Day challenges us to take gender issues seriously, and in this letter, my dear nephew, I am going to share my take on gender with you. I believe that life is about diversity and harmony. Nature takes the line of diversity. There is day and there is night. There are different seasons. There are different forms of life. There are different languages and dialects in the world. And of course, there are men and women, male and female. There are different tribes and different races. There are different religions, and the list of diversity can go on indefinitely. Differences can be challenging. If you have a homogeneous group of people who all think alike, it is easier to reach a comfortable consensus. Diversity means including people with different perspectives, different experiences, different opinions, and different expectations, and dealing with that is not always easy. And so throughout history, mankind has struggled with diversity, and some people have tried to deal with it in all sorts of terrible and wrong ways. The following are some of the wrong ways of dealing with diversity. 1. Seeking to destroy what is different. This is what happens during ethnic cleansing. Here, someone decides that it is not worth trying to understand and support those different from them, but to destroy them for being different. This happens even in religion. Religious violence is born out of one religion objecting to the very existence of another religion. This approach to diversity is catastrophic because it is a violation of life itself, and it brings trouble to the perpetrators and the victims alike. The second mistake people make with diversity is to try to dominate the other through discrimination and all kinds of schemes. Racism, apartheid, tribalism, these are a few examples of one group trying to dominate another on the grounds of differences. Denying or withholding certain rights from a group is another way of seeking to dominate them. Favoring one group over another is another attempt for domination by one group. This is also what happens in many societies that keep one sex down or tilt the scale to favor one sex. The third mistake people make with diversity is to try to ignore the differences in life. When the differences are ignored, society becomes the poorer because one group is sacrificed for this to work. This happens a lot in marriages where many spouses simply ignore the differences between men and women. And that brings me to the fourth mistake we make with diversity, which is to conclude that one group is superior to the other. Yes, as human beings, we are different from one another, but the differences do not mean that one race or one ethnic group or one gender is superior to the other. It is true that knowledge may make one group appear more powerful. It is true that situations and circumstances may play more to the advantage of one group, but the bottom line is that we are all equal. The American Declaration of Independence states in its second sentence, quote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness," end of quote. Now, because nature itself celebrates diversity, life at its best happens when we work for harmony and inclusion. Harmony begins when we understand that our differences should not be a cause for conflict or hatred, but a source for richness. Harmony demands that we understand that men and women are different and that men and women can truly know happiness and success only when they learn to live and work together in harmony. Maya Angelou said, quote, "In diversity there is beauty and there is strength," end of quote. Harmony means recognizing the limitations and differences between us and working at understanding and supporting each other. Parents are often the most guilty in failing to celebrate diversity among their children. Children from the same parents come as individuals, and they can be very different from each other, almost as if they were born to different parents. And most parents fail to celebrate the diversity among their children and end up destroying the child who is different from the others. My dear nephew, as a man, you should begin by respecting and understanding the differences between you and girls, especially Amanda, the significant girl in your life, and then work hard to make the differences between you enrich your relationship. And when you become a father, remember that there will be diversity among your children. Recognize that, cherish that, and celebrate that. Give each child room to be himself or herself. In the office, look out for the diversity among your colleagues, and remember the three watchwords: understanding, respect, and support. Sometimes the colleague who makes you the most uncomfortable ends up being the most blessing to you. And when you become a boss, again, remember that your staff will not be homogeneous. Each of them has different things to offer. If you do not recognize and celebrate the diversity of your staff and work for harmony, you'll be a very poor and ineffective boss. The boss who promotes only his kind does a lot of harm to his company and his organization. Max De Pree, the American business leader and author of Leadership is an Act, said, quote, "We need to give each other the space to grow, to be ourselves, to exercise our diversity. We need to give each other space so that we may both give and receive such beautiful things as ideas, openness, dignity, joy, healing, and inclusion," end of quote. And Malcolm Forbes, the publisher of Forbes magazine, said, quote, "Diversity is the art of thinking independently together," end of quote. My dear nephew, I am by this letter challenging you to celebrate diversity in life and to be open-minded enough to aim for inclusion in all that you do. And this is from your uncle in your corner, Uncle Ebo-White.
Thank you very much, Uncle Ebo-White, first of all, for being in our corner.
Yeah.
And also for sharing with us food for thought every day.
It's the right place to be. At least I don't take the blows. You take the blows.
But with you in our corner, we don't take too many.
Yeah, no, you don't take too many, and you won't go defeated.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a super day.
All right, then, yes, go. Have a great day. And congratulations to you and all those rejoicing with you because of your never walk alone philosophy.
Of course. Right. We walk with the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Okay. Which is the referee, the match commissioner, and
the fun.
And the fun.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Food for Thoughts with Uncle Ebo-White.